All right, at this time, I'd like to call the October 22nd meeting of the Fairfield County Planning Commission to order. First of all, I'd like to get a roll call. Answer in the affirmative as I call out. Mr. DeWitt can make a record. Jennifer Barnes.
Aye.
Randy Kelly.
Aye.
Ben Giles.
Aye.
Gray.
Aye.
And Chris Knight. Right, first order of business is the approval of the minutes from the September meeting. Everybody's had a chance to review those. Any questions or comments? If not, I will accept the motion to approve the meetings as
I so move.
there's a motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
And all in favor, Ms. Barnes?
Aye.
Kelly?
Aye.
Gray?
Aye.
I also approve. If we have one item of new business, that's a property rezone from I-1 to B2. This is on West Beach Road or Beach Road. Okay. And if we can get the staff report at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening, members of the commission. First of all, I think I'm the only one who did not do a mic check. Can everyone hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great. This case tonight is about, we have a request to rezone a piece of property, approximately 8.3 acres. As Chris said, it's on West Peach Drive or West Peach Road. This is in the area that was zoned industrial or zoned I-1 as part of the, or it's adjacent to the county-owned business park. This property is actually adjacent to the BOMAG manufacturing site. The request is to zone from I-1 to B2 or General Business District. The reason for this is I've explained it in the staff report. There's a new buyer for the property who wants to actually build a single family residence there. And he bought it with not knowing that it was industrial, and industrial zoning is the only district in the county that does not allow any kind of residential development whatsoever. And that's the only thing that this gentleman wanted to do on the property. The problem came in when we found it was discovered that a prior owner at some point back in the chain of title had inserted a deed restriction into this property that it could only be developed residentially. So we had mutually exclusive conditions here. The deed restriction said it can only be developed residentially, and industrial zoning says you can do a lot of things with it. You can do about anything except residential development. So the property would have never been developed under the current circumstances, under the current zoning.
Point of clarification, if I may, as well. The property was rezoned in 2012 after the passage of the zoning ordinance. So it still is its original district. The restrictive covenants came around apparently around 2013, 2014. So this wasn't the county's doing, if you will, but even still, the county, we don't necessarily look at restrictive covenants when rezoning property per se, or especially with a countywide zoning effort. So just wanted to make that point of clarification.
Right. We have, I think, roughly 25,000 parcels in the county, and it really would not be practical to do a chain of title on every parcel and look for these types of things. So, but anyway, in an effort to try to work around this situation, the applicant requested zoning to change zoning from industrial to business to B2. B2 allows for residential development of a full range of residential development options, and changing zoning from industrial to general business conforms with the county, the comprehensive plan elements in the future land use plan. So they can, we can do it. We can do this zoning if the commission so desires, and council eventually. We can do this rezoning, and the applicant would be allowed to develop commercial or develop the home, but the property would still be changed. We would still be following the comprehensive plan, and we would be following the future land use plan as well.
Thank you, Mr. DeWitt. So again, I've stated this in the past, obviously, when the county adopted a comprehensive zoning ordinance and land management plan, some of these rezones went out by area, not by specific properties, by parcels, and it is impractical to look at each one during a rezone, which is why we have application for a rezone. So we're handling this in the appropriate way, not acknowledging or denying any culpability in that. But anyway, thank you for that. Any questions or comments from the planning commission?
Yes, please. This is Randy. I guess maybe an obvious question is why wouldn't the request be to change it to RD1 to be consistent with the nearby properties, especially since there's a covenant on the property that it has to be residential anyway. The B2 is kind of useless, isn't it, if he adheres to that covenant or restriction, whatever that term is, and can't do anything except residential.
Mr. Kelly, thank you for that question. This really relates to the future land use map and that area being depicted as industrial. And then when you go to the compatible zoning districts for the industrial future land use map, and how that's set up, RD1 would not be compatible. B2 is a compatible. So basically, when we go through the rezoning process, we either need to put forward a compatible district, which would be allowed, or there's sort of like all these details need to be weighed, and then the planning commission could kind of go out, not really on a limb, but they would take everything into consideration and then recommend another district. B2 would serve the purpose that he has, the use that he wants, and it would also comply. So it looks strange. I understand that being a B2, but he's just going to have residence. But it allows for his intended use, and it complies with the future land use map. So that's the reasoning behind it.
And there is some B2 just to the east of this property up West Peach Road on the other side of the industrial. There's a large tract up there that's zoned B2 as well. So it's not entirely isolated. There is other B2 in the area.
But it's not contiguous?
No, it is not contiguous. That's correct.
I think it was the Shannon. I believe it was the Shannon property that was off Cook Road. Shannon property. We had to do the same thing. So again, they needed, residential use, and so we had to comply with the future land use map and allow for that use. And I believe in that case as well, B2 is the only compatible district. So.
Do we anticipate any further industrial development coming that way?
That is adjacent to the Fairfield Commerce Center. So we're expecting development that actually has been, if you will, sidetracked by the roads there inside the Commerce Center. You'll notice they're blocked off. There were some of the bridges actually failed. So yes, once that's straight, we should be able to market the entirety of that development. The Economic Development Office as well will probably see a rezoning coming in the near future. They're looking at some territory further down Peach Road that has it's in a different service territory. It's in the co-op territory. So they're purchasing some property, and I think council just passed an ordinance to purchase that property. If not, that's coming up on the final reading. I believe it was actually, I think it was already just passed. So now, yeah, we'll bring the rezoning forward once that's all filed and the property is taken out of the larger tract. So I think it was 62 acres, if I'm not mistaken. So that'll be coming forward probably the next month or then in January. Shannon property off Cook Road, I think it was around 12. I want to say 20 actually, but don't quote me on that. It was a large property.
So in essence, we're taking 20 acres in that area for residential.
Yeah, that's almost their homestead is how they were approaching that. They wanted their family to live there. Mm-hmm.
Floor is still open for questions, comments. No further questions or comments. I'll take a motion in regard to this item.
Well, I think that we should go ahead on accept recommendation.
I'm sorry, I'm having some trouble hearing you guys.
Pull that microphone into you.
I said that the motion, I think we should go ahead and accept the recommendation of the property to be rezoned to residential.
From I-1 to
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, Mr. Gray has expressed interest in having the motion passed. Just waiting on a second.
This is Dr. Harris. I second such motion.
All right, thank you. We have a motion and a second. At this time, I'll roll call for yeas or nays. Ms. Barnes,
Yay.
Mr. Kelly,
Aye.
Mr. Gauss,
Yay.
Dr. Harris,
Yay.
Mr. Gray,
Yay.
and I vote yay. Motion passes. Will be presented to council. Moving on to old business. The last meeting, I expressed interest in having the chairmanship up for nominations. I want to be clear. I do not. My point in doing this was to make it clear that I think from time to time, new leadership can be a positive thing. I have no qualms about serving again, but I did want to offer the opportunity to somebody else if there was a if there was a consensus. So that was my point. I'm not I'm not looking to step down, but I do want to give somebody else the opportunity if, you know, if there's a desire or a want or a need by the commission, just for clarity. And we can discuss if anybody has questions or comments or a nomination.
Chris, I think you've done an outstanding job. I mean, if you're willing to stay on, that would be my recommendation.
I second that.
Unless Randy Kelly wants to take it. No, I seriously, you've done a terrific job. If you're willing to stay on, I'm all along with that. So
I agree with that, Ben, and I wholeheartedly endorse Chris to continue doing it if he's willing.
don't Randy, don't talk him out of it.
Well, I'm trying to talk him into it. You know, somebody else. I would say
before he changes his mind.
I would say also that, you know, if there's somebody else that wants to serve as chairman for a while, I you know, from what I know of all the individuals on this commission, I feel comfortable with somebody else doing it. But I do feel like we've got great leadership, and I don't think that you're stale at all as the chairman, Chris. So I'm with Ben. I'm comfortable with it.
Great. Well, thank you. I'm not fishing for compliments or affirmations, but I do appreciate the sentiment.
Well, it's been a crazy year, and yeah, if you'll do another year, that thing that'd be good for the committee.
I definitely concur.
All right.
You'll take a vote?
I'll accept the nomination, and if we need to make this official and call for a vote, let's do it. And what that'll set a time. This will set a start point for a 12-month time period, and then we can. Or do you want to?
Well, I don't know if Chris has long-term plans or not.
Yeah.
Traditionally, this would be done in January. You might want to accept a motion or whatever to continue service through January until an election in January, perhaps, and then we could keep it on a calendar year at least that way, unless Chris has.
Our bylaws, if you will, don't really stipulate.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do it. It probably would be much easier, you know, going forward for historical purposes,
Right.
to just have the election in January.
Okay.
But you know, it's you could technically, I guess, even make the motion be amended tonight to say, you know, effective now until January.
Yeah, you handle it however
Yeah.
you want to do it, but
then that would also mean, though, that the vice chair is a position as well. So that vice chair would come up if Mr. Kelly, who's currently serving in that capacity, you know, didn't want to renew that, then that could either come up in January, or I guess you could vote on it again tonight. So
Okay.
Either way.
Well, I think going forward, since there is no stipulated date within the calendar year, I think we should settle that anyway. At least vote to hold an election for chair and vice chair at the January meeting of each year. Is that appropriate? So can we postpone this? Do we want to vote tonight to assign
It depends.
a permanent date?
It depends on how you look at your stepping down, if you will. If that was an official action of the commission, which, so I mean, it can be.
I never got anything in writing from him, so.
You didn't technically resign
No.
through the entire.
We're making this
we
way
could
too
just-
complicated.
Yeah, I know, we probably are, but we can just go with January. We can also probably look at the bylaws.
Okay,
as
let's
well.
do that. Let's
Let's see where we want to amend things.
Can't you
Yeah.
just table it till January?
please, yeah,
Yeah.
Let's do a little more research.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Let's table the issue until,
The theoretical January meeting.
great.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right.
Aye.
I don't think there's any other business at this time. If somebody wants to make a motion for adjournment,
I move that we
Make a motion,
adjourn.
we adjourn.
that's
A
a
second.
motion and a second. All in favor?
Amen.
Aye. All right. Thanks, guys.
Aye.